What's up, China? How you doing? Guys, this is China. Rest in peace, China. She's going to help us out with document B. So just to let you know, more than 60% of the federal budget is what is called mandatory spending. So that is existing law dictates what will be spent on that program. So mandatory spending includes Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, unemployment insurance, and other safety net programs. To change funding for these programs, Congress must first change the authorization legislation, meaning they got to change the law. So then you have of the remaining budget called discretionary spending. Military spending takes up about 60% of that. So defense spending is discretionary, but sometimes politically difficult to cut. You don't want to be seen as the politician that cuts the military, especially in districts and states that depend economically on the defense industry or military bases. And by the way, we have a lot of those bases. All right, so a few things I just want to point out. Over here, we have the percentage. So this is a percent. I promise that's what that says. And on this other side, we have dollars. And this is in billions of dollars. I guess I should have done green for this color, but that's okay. So we see that we have Medicare and Medicaid down here taking up a huge part, Social Security taking up a huge part, defense taking up a huge part, safety nets, and then our national debt. And then we start getting to all these small stuff, and then you have other that makes up a whole big part. So it asks, what is the federal budget in fiscal year 2012? I'm really hopeful that this is not a challenging question because the answer is really big. The specific amount, actually, just to let you know, was $3.796 trillion, but we're going to just round that up to $3.8 trillion. And this is for the year 2012. What were the three largest expenditures in the federal budget in 2012? Well, you have Medicare and Medicaid. That's making up about 23%. Social Security is about 20%. And defense, that's about 18%. So all of that totals up to about, I'm going to let you do the math on that one, though, right? I think you can. And then you got to take that and you got to figure out, oh, how much money does that round up to? I'm going to give you a hint. It's over $2 trillion, but you got to give me a more specific amount. So approximately what percentage of the budget goes to paying interest on the U.S. On the money the U.S. government owes? So the United States owes just a lot of money. Does this part of the budget address any of the goals laid out in the preamble? So obviously, that's kind of a problem. So we see that our national debt is right here. And it looks like it's about 5%, 6%, there we go. Or about $230 billion goes just to pay the interest back on our loan. So you could argue that the interest on the debt does not support any of our goals. But it's also possible that it could. Borrowing money might be necessary to support programs that are in the interest of the preamble's goals. Provide for the general welfare, that's kind of vague. So indirectly, it could support these goals. And this last question, I cannot answer for you. What parts of the federal budget come as the biggest surprise? I don't know. Dun, dun, dun. Thanks, China.